Hey YouTube, today we're going to be watching a duo that I think a bunch of people are hoping to see play together come the next RLCS season, and that is Rw9 and Nwpo. Now, Nwpo and Rw9 playing on separate teams for this past RLCS season, or I really should say, not in the case for Rw9. Rw9 Killers of F16, not old enough to play in this last RLCS season. They did get to play in Gamers 8, though. They looked good in those games, and they played alongside Basel, but tons and tons of speculation that Rw9 and Nwpo and Killers will reform a team that they used to play in a long time ago called Nameless. Nameless used to play in all the Middle East tournaments back when Nwpo, Rw9, and Killers all were under 15 years old. Now, it doesn't make any sense for Nwpo to stick with them when he turns 15 before the Twins and had the opportunity to go play in the RLCS for a split. You've got to go do that. So he did. He left Rw9 and Killers, and he went and joined Cola and was able to play super well with Cola to the point where maybe they'll end up just staying as Cola, and maybe Rw9 and Killers will stay as F16 with Basel. We'll have to see. But I know that a lot of people really hope that Rw9 and Nwpo team up because somebody's got to take the Falcons down. The Falcons have won 9 regionals in this last season, and I don't expect to see that happening again. Not with a team like Nwpo and Rw9, as Nwpo launches the ball out for Rw9 to slam in. Nwpo has been one of the most exciting players as of late. And we talk about the RLCS Pro Awards. I don't know if you guys saw, I was on Johnny Boy's stream. Not sure if he'll upload it as a video or not to his YouTube, of the RLCS Pro Awards for the spring major. Or not the spring major, but the spring split. And one of those awards was handed out to the best rookie of the season. Now, the way that they qualified rookie of the season in those is that they did not include anybody who played in RLCS X, but everybody who played after that was considered a rookie, which means players who've been playing from the beginning of this RLCS season all the way back in the fall are all still considered rookies. So naturally, Nwpo wasn't even really in the conversation because there's players like TRK, Vatira, these players who have really been the best players in the world, not just the best rookies. They, of course, took those awards, but had the awards instead been changed, which they might in the future, to just include players who are new to that split, I think Nwpo would have won it. Nwpo has been truly an amazing player, and that's why everybody is so excited to see what he might do in the next split. Rw9 to Nwpo, the teamwork. Obviously, that comes down to Smokes and Kieran going way too all in, and as you can see, Smokes is an EU player. I think we talked about that in the previous video. If you happen to watch it, he was playing on USC. So my guess is Smokes is somewhere in the UK, because the UK seem to get pretty good ping on USC servers, like under 100. And what's crazy to me, and I wonder if it'll ever be a problem for Nwpo in the future, is we just checked, he has 120 ping. Of all the Middle Eastern players that I've ever had on stream, they usually can get around 100, sometimes even 90 on EU servers, but not Nwpo. Nwpo gets really bad ping even on the servers he mains at all times. So it's crazy to think that he does this. What a shot, dude. Nwpo always has some crazy clip. That's why I love to watch him. He's going to get you something crazy if you watch his games. But I can't imagine having to play on that much ping. He's basically like a South American player. I mean, it's not quite there, but it's almost like a South American player who has to always queue US East and get 130, 140. Well, Nwpo's doing that with EU from the Middle East. Luckily, RLCS is held on some solid Middle East servers, so I don't think he has to deal with that when he's playing RLCS. But you got to feel for him a little bit. Right now, him and Rw9 absolutely dominating this team of Smokes and Kieran. Both are solid players. Neither, I would argue, are on the level of this duo, though. Smokes trying to demo Nwpo. Very greedy demo, I would say. High up on the wall. No, only Nwpo is good at bumping his own teammates. Oh my gosh, of course that would work. They forfeit. Yes, that's obviously a forfeit. There's no business having this work. We'll watch it from Rw9's perspective as well, because Rw9 turns to this play, gets bumped by his teammate, and then Nwpo gets bumped by Smokes, who just gets a free shot, dies, but wins in the process. And man, the orange team, quick to forfeit there instead of letting that one go in. But we got another game. We got another game of Nwpo and Rw9 coming up next. The duo that everybody wants to see play together continue here. This time against Tigri and HC Copy ORL. This time the game not going as well for them as it did in the last one. Actually, I think they did get scored on quickly in the last one, but boy, were they dominating for the past 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Or actually, they forfeited early, so not even that much time. Nwpo able to find the pinch. Swear he's about to bump his teammate again. When we watched him play in the RLCS, everybody was kind of ragging on Nwpo's playstyle because despite the fact that he played so fast and he was so mechanical, he didn't seem to register his teammates on the field. He was just moving. If he felt like it was his time to take the ball, it didn't matter whether there was someone there to stop him. And I wonder how he would play alongside, you know, a Falcons team, because I think he has played a few. I think he played a tournament alongside Khaled and TRK when Ahmad was maybe sick or something. I wonder how he played alongside them. Definitely a crew of players who are talented enough and reliable. Maybe he doesn't cut them off as much as we saw him cutting off some other players, or maybe it's just his style. I do think his kind of speed is something that players will just eventually learn to match, because so far in the game, players who've been able to play faster, play more mechanical, have always turned out to be the next big thing in Rocket League. You know, sure, there are the veterans who are so good at everything else, they're able to hold on to their places in the world. For the most part, the young mechanical geniuses are taking over, and the most obvious example of that is Moist Esports right now, dominating the RLCS with pure mechanics and speed. I'll tell you who isn't dominating. That is Nwpo and Ross right now. Ceiling reset for Nwpo, though. He's got two defenders to beat. Falls under the high defender and tries to low 50 the bottom one. But credit to the orange team for doing a decent job of stopping that well-timed attack. Now Nwpo going under. The first jump is early to go high, make it look like he's going to shoot high into the top right corner. He gets the defender up in the air and then pulls off the ball and knows that there's a good chance he'll win the low 50 or a low touch because he baited that defender in making the wrong move. So very impressive first goal. Ross almost finds another. Nwpo has a humongous net. Yeah, he's just too good. He's too good to miss from that position. You see how high the defender is up on the back wall. Not going to be able to stop this one. I actually do think the defender has to be a little bit more active. He's trying to camp out and cover all the options. That was an own goal, I'm pretty sure, from HC Copy Go RL. But he's got to do something different, whether it's cover the back post or move near post. He just has to stay, or even just start flying out towards the play, even if he doesn't have any boost. When he sits there, it's just so easy, you can tell from Nwpo's perspective, to get a read, to make the right play, and it's a guaranteed goal. So while it might not make a ton of sense to put yourself in a worse position to cover the entire net, you just got to make that person think. You're just trying to get them to miss, really, more than you are trying to cover the net. But either way, although it was a bad start, 4 quick goals for Nwpo and Roas. Nwpo's going to take to the skies. Tigri pre-jumping, and look at him! Look at, how does he do this? He has no boost left, and he finds his way to get his wheels on the ball and use the reset to put it over the top of the defender. Tigri thought he did whatever he needed to do because he got Nwpo to use up everything in the air and then try and take the ball down to the ground. Kickoff lost directly to Nwpo, and now it's 6-2. These guys are just dominating. How could you not be a fan of this player? We need to get Nwpo on LAN in front of a crowd, just in the at some major, show all the fans who are not open to watching the Middle Eastern regionals and are only watching those North American, EU, or maybe, you know, majors. That's where he needs to be. He needs to get in front of the eyes, and I have a feeling he will explode in popularity, even more so than he already has. That being said, as I hype him up and say he's the best to ever do it, he does get scored on. Roas, slam high to the ceiling. Nwpo, you just know he's going to be able to carry this to the net. Instead, just drop it down to the defender. That's Tigri. The reset needs the double to finish it off. Too close to the backboard, though, to have an angle to do so. Decent bump, but it's going to leave these two awkward. But that being said, they're so smart, so quick on the counter. Wow. I said it was leaving them awkward, and it felt like it was. But I tell you what, in no time, these guys have scored on your net. So Nwpo, Rw9 looking like a great duo. Specifically, Nwpo looking extra mechanical as always. Hopefully, we see more of them in the RLCS.